Welcome everybody to Roland Cowan Stadium as Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia bring to you the Southern District Spartans versus the McCoy Meteors. I'm John Guarna. I'm joined today by Dave Derwin and Regan Baker. This is McCoy's third game on a triple header. Should be a great matchup tonight. Spartans looking for their first win of the season, while McCoy looking to complete a 3-0 road trip. Dave, it should be a good matchup. What are your expectations for today's matchup?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think I could be tipping an upset, Johnny.
Okay.
That's what I'm feeling.
All right.
I think game 3 for McCoy, no Tragar to try and battle Magne, and after 3 days of travel and games, tough game last night against the Caps, you know, maybe fourth quarter, Spartans around with a sniff.
All right.
Could get it done.
Yeah, well, Spartans are still looking for that first win of the season. They had a pretty decent road trip last weekend up in Townsville and Cairns, lost 2 really tight ones. They're back here. They seem to be fairly full strength this afternoon. We saw a couple new faces. We see James Griffith. So first time we're going to get to see Adam Gibson ourselves here for Spartans. You got Magne back as well. This team, though, they're desperate for a win. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think, as you said, it's probably maybe one of the first games of the season where they've got their full guys. Just looking at some of their guys, I mean, they've got plenty of talent in there. Gibson, King, Magne, Volkman, Phillip, and Eustace. I mean, it's a pretty handy 6 or 7 guys, right? So I think really it just depends on which Spartans come out. We've covered them a couple games. The first game, they were pretty rubbish. Second game, they were much better. And so, you know, hopefully they've learned, and obviously getting some guys in today will be key.
And we see McCoy on our stream for the first time this season. They're going to be without their coach, Cam Tragar. He did his calf muscle, so he was out last night. He'll be out again this afternoon. What do they have to do to replace Cam? I know it's difficult to replace him on the floor, but they certainly have plenty of talent.
Well, they do, and you know, there's a reason why they're second in the league in rebounding. Is because they do it as a group, and so it just means that they're going to have to continue to do so. No doubt, Rasmussen's going to get a lot of those Tragar minutes. And he's certainly, you know, very serviceable. The key with this McCoy group is the core's been together for a while, and then the new guys that haven't, you know, equal Blanchfield, Larkins, and Robinson, which are 3 pretty handy guys to insert into a core that knows their role, knows how they roll. And so, you know, I think, again, it's just, if they can hang around, I think they'll have the experience to get over the top, but certainly, you know, the Spartans have a great opportunity to get their first win this season.
I'm looking forward to seeing Nelson Larkins. We haven't seen him in the QBL for a couple seasons. He's having himself a great year so far for McCoy. He's really slid in there and fit into the group really, really well.
Yeah, he has, and you know, shooting the ball really well as well. I'm interested to see how he's developed as well after this the season down with Adelaide, and you know, looking for him to step up. So you know, equal haven't seen him for a while, and you've got Todd Blanchfield, who's a terrific player. Again, who's looking to make some noise this coming NBL season. And
we didn't even mention Chris Cedar. Last time we saw Chris Cedar, he was dropping 50 in the Grants Final Series.
Yeah, absolutely. So any time he's on the floor, you know, you got a chance.
And Magne goes right at Titus Robinson and gets the first bucket of the game. And you got to like that right off the bat, Dave.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and do that most of the night. I mean, he really has a massive size advantage, and we've seen him play a couple times. It's whether or not he can stay on the floor. Sometimes he's had a couple of silly fouls. And if he can do that, then Spartans have got a great post target all night long.
And Robinson hits the long 2, so each team scoring on their first possession of the game. Cedar has the Philp assignment. Now Larkins guarding Gibson. Nice roll to the basket. Double team Magne. He's fouled on his way up for a shot, so that's going to be 2. Going to give that one. Looks like that one's going against Titus Robinson. His first, the team's first.
Yeah, just a silly cheap foul. He actually had good position. He should have just kept his hands up and met him with the body, and Coach Tragar's telling him to do the exact same thing. He was right there. There's no need for the silly foul because they'll need him come the fourth quarter.
So Magne will get a couple of shots from the free throw line. Hits the first. And the second's good as well. It's a good start to the game for Spartans. Deshaun King looking to swipe it from Larkins. Then he gets called for the reach-in foul.
That foul is called on number 3, Deshaun King.
I don't know how he's angry. I mean,
He looked like he got some ball, but a little more body.
well, you know, like you tell the under-12s, mate, if it looks like a foul, often, you know, referees will call it.
Larkins gets the screen, picks up his dribble. Titus Robinson going to fire a three. That's too strong. Out of bounds off of McCoy. Referee is going to have a chat. Going to change the call. It's going to stay with McCoy. So 4 seconds to go on the shot clock for the Meteors. Cedar getting set to inbound. Goes to Robinson. He's got to get a long two up. That's off, and King comes down with the defensive rebound. Philp in the corner. Looking for Magne again. Now back out to Philp. Good handoff, and Magne fouled by Chris Cedar. That's a veteran foul there by Cedar. Some interesting matchups on the floor.
Yeah.
So Rasmussen on Philp. I'm hoping that was a switch. I can't imagine they're going to have him guarding Philp all night.
They did switch out, and yeah, nice little pass from Philp there, hitting the diving Magne.
Really like what we see from Spartans here early, Dave. Looking to take advantage of that mismatch with Magne inside.
Yeah, I mean, he's been involved in every single offensive possession, and he's either had a shot or got fouled.
And the four guards, I guess you can call Eustace a bit of a guard forward, but four guards and Magne. Adam Gibson from the wing, his three is off. Robinson with the big rebound. Good show there by Magne, knocks it out of bounds, so it's going to stay with McCoy. 15 on the shot clock for the sideline out of bounds. Zapanovic going to get set to check in. Going to give Rasmussen a breather. I think that's a matchup thing, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, a little bit, and equally just a bit of a wider bod, possibly.
Larkins from the corner, his three is off. Phil grabs the defensive rebound.
A lot of jump shots here early for McCoy.
King driving baseline, tries to hand it off. It's nearly stolen. Larkins does save it. Here's Cedar, backing down against Philp. Hands off for Robinson, who finishes with the left hand. Good look and a nice finish from Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the McCoy fans want to see a bit more of that. You know, if they're just going to settle for jump shots all night, it might be a tough game. Magne on the lob.
Nice look there. Magne with the great catch and finish. Three-pointer from Cedar. Rattles home. Give him an inch. He's going to take it.
Yeah, I think, you know, today might be one of those games where Cedar's going to have to score a lot just to pick up some of the load without missing Tragar. It's not necessarily the points, but just taking a little bit of pressure off it.
You can take it off the rim, which is exactly what Robinson did. Now Larkin's going to fire a three. He's fouled by Deshaun King. That's his second personal. It's the team's third. Excuse me, the team's second.
Well, they'll be pretty happy, McCoy, getting rid of King for the next 6.5 minutes minimum.
Checking in for King is Dylan Gray. And Larkin's going to go to the line for 3 shots. Nelson hits the first one.
And the biggest thing, too, I think that'll come out today, Johnny, is, you know, the Spartans having the belief they actually can get the win. So, you know, there's a bit of culture when you're 0-7 and you start scratching and doubting and so forth. So it'll be interesting to see now King's out, which certainly hurts them.
So Larkins goes 2 of 3. Volkman going to check in. Will Magne going to get a breather? It's be interesting to see how the Spartans adjust after running their offense through Magne. Volkman double teamed. Finds a cutting Gray who passes it right into Chris Eder. Blanchfield now using the dribble, gets inside, misses the layup, and Volkman comes down with it. Gibson finds a wide open Eustace, three-pointer up. It's short off the front of the rim. And here goes Blanchfield, who's fouled. That one's going to go against Mitch Philp. Team's third, Philp's first personal.
His first personal, third team foul for the Spartans.
Robinson looking inside. Another foul. That's going against Gibson, the fourth team foul on Spartans. Bit chippy to start here.
His first personal, fourth team foul.
Robinson pass is nearly stolen. He recovers. He was looking for the yak, but he's fouled. So Robinson going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Well, the Spartan boys are looking upset, but when you want to try and jump in the air and do something, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of, great defense. I mean, if you're going to try and do that, just stay down.
Yep, I agree with you.
You want to try and contest guys trying to yak on you, and then it looks like contact, then there's going to be a foul.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
That's the 5th team foul, though, for Spartans, Dave. Not really what you want about 4 minutes into the game. Timeout, though, on the floor, so we'll take one as well with 6:08 to go in the first quarter of your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you here at Roland Cowan Stadium. About 4 minutes into the first quarter, 4 minutes into the game. Spartans already at the penalty, Dave, so Titus Robinson at the free throw line for 2 shots. You talked about it before we went to the timeout, but fouls are fouls.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you say. Once the referee blows the whistle, he's not going to change it. I think Spartans probably be a little upset with the referees, but they probably need to look at themselves in this situation.
Yeah, just need to improve their discipline. And again, it's not every foul call's wrong. When they complain about all 5 of them so far, then the referees kind of go, well, you know what, when you do whinge every time.
Yeah, in my 10 years of refereeing, I don't think I ever overturned a single foul call I ever made. Right. Out of bounds is one thing, fouls is something completely different.
Yeah. Oh, nice move.
Dylan Gray breaking the ankles of Toddy Blanchfield there. Getting a nice bucket for the Spartans. They needed that one. They're down 3. Blanchfield comes right back, dumps it inside. Robinson puts it down with 2 hands. Good recovery there from Blanchfield. Nice response. Eustace on the baseline, uses the pump fake. His pass is stolen by Blanchfield.
They've had a couple of nothing turnovers here early in the first quarter, Johnny. And when I say nothing, I'm looking about, they're not trying to make close passes, just really sloppy.
It was sloppy from Zupanovic on the other end, so gives Spartans a possession again.
Well, that's the challenge when you got guys out, and he obviously comes in, Zupanovic, and plays a role. But he's just got to stay in his lane and do what he can do well. They don't need him to be playmaking.
Gamblin going to check in for the first time tonight. Rasmussen comes back in. Zupanovic and Cedar get a breather. Like the adjustment McCoy made on that possession as well, double teaming the post and getting a turnover.
Yeah, and I like that Blanchfield's looking more aggressive the last few minutes as well.
5 points the lead here for McCoy. Nelson Larkins running the show for McCoy. Blanchfield will pull up for a long two that's short. Gibson has the defensive rebound. Philp gonna fire from the wing. That's too strong. Robinson rips it out of the hands of Gray. He's an athlete, this Titus Robinson. You hear Larkins call out the horn set. He splits the defense, loses it, and it's recovered. Rasmussen, top of the key, three is off.
Benny Hoffman with the defensive ball.
Philp from the top of the key. Looks inside. Now out, Dylan Gray, three-pointer, off. Knocked out of bounds by Ugrinich. And Lucas Blitzav's going to see his first minutes of the afternoon for McCoy. Titus Robinson gets a breather. So McCoy's got Larkins, Gamblin, Blitzavs, Rasmussen, and Blanchfield. Spartans answer with Gray, Ugrinich, Philp, Gibson, and Volkman. Nice pass. Rasmussen three is nothing but net.
Yeah, good action, good angles there from McCoy. They had the screen up screen from Rasmussen. Larkins came up. He actually could have turned the corner probably and got on the rim, but unselfishly he threw it back to Ras, who said, I'm not missing two in a row from the top.
Gibson has it now. He'll pull up top of the key three. That's too strong. Gamblin grabs it, and McCoy looking to push. Blitz has thought about it, and he'll reset now with Blanchfield. Goes past Volkman, leaves his feet, and he's fouled.
Geez, since the early 6 points from Magnay, the Spartans have looked every bit of their 0-7 record, Johnny. Just really shaky, settling for, you know, some okay shots, but again, it's I think it's McCoy letting you have those shots, you know, like the Grays in the corner and so forth. And, you know, Spartans are really struggling to get some points early in the first.
McCoy, in the meantime, really super efficient so far. Doing a good job getting everyone a touch and a look. Blanchfield at the free throw line for the couple. He's hit the first one. Second one good as well, so it's double digits the lead here, 10 for McCoy. Blanchfield saw that one coming. He picks off the pass. Not going to go 1-on-3. He'll fire the three. Nice offensive rebound. Gamblin fouled on his way up.
Great job hitting the glass from Gamblin. I don't know how Benny Volkman can't just stand and block that. But good job from Gamblin hitting the glass, getting some cheap points. And that's, you know, again, we talked about discipline a bit last night, Johnny. Volkman just got to stand straight up. I mean, there's no way Gamblin's shooting the ball over him at 6'9" or 6'10".
James Griffin has checked in for Spartans. Our first time seeing him so far this season. Dave, I know you coached him at the 20s, I believe you said.
Yeah, a couple years ago, so I had a decent college.
Blanchfield wanted to put someone on the poster. He nearly had the whole Spartans team there. The dunks missed.
He was just trying to show up Simmons from last night.
I don't know. It's going to be a tough one to top, Dave.
Yeah.
It was Obi Shea from Rashawn Simmons off the backboard.
Yeah, yeah.
That one would have been up there, though, but Blanchfield's fouled, so go to the line for two. He hits the first one. But tell us a little bit about James Griffin. I know you haven't seen him for a while since he was in the 20s, but what kind of junior was he?
Yeah, he's always been a really good athlete, so it'll be interesting to see how he's progressed his game and matured overseas playing school. But yeah, always was a really good athlete, good motor.
He's got the ball now on the wing. Looking inside, his pass is stolen by Blanchfield. Blanchfield kicks it ahead to Hayden Wiggs, who lays it in.
Well, the difference has been absolutely Todd Blanchfield in this first quarter. Imposed himself into the game with a massive 15-point lead early. You know, I'd said they might be tired. When you look at the scoreboard and you're up 15, you don't feel tired.
They've got it all working for them at the moment. Spartans don't have the answer just yet. Gibson gets inside. Layup is good, plus the foul.
Yeah, great take from Gibbo. That's what they need more of. A little bit more penetration. And again, really, for now, with this group they've got, you know, they've got to get Gibson and Magnay going.
Gibson at the line for the three-point play opportunity. It's a good shot from Gibbo. Cuts the deficit to 12. Like what Coach Trigar's done here, really using everyone on the bench as Blitzav's three is too strong. Eustace nearly lost it. Here's Griffin kicking ahead for Adam Gibson. Slips out of his hands, and Griffin knocks it out of bounds, so turnover there for Spartans. Blanchfield on the wing now. He stops and pops and rattles home. Blanchfield's got 6. McCoy's up 14. Talk about turnovers, Dave. Spartans doing themselves in. They've got 6 already so far. Magnay offensive rebound and puts it back in. It's good work there from Magnay. Here's Blanchfield on the wing. Works his way to the bucket. He's fouled. And Blanchfield just causing absolute havoc there for Spartans.
Yeah. A 2 on Gibbo now as well.
So Gibson has 2. Deshaun King has 2. Dan Quigley checks in for the first time this afternoon. Shout out to Dan Quigley and his headband. Looking killer. Blanchfield at the line for 2. These are Blanchfield's 5th and 6th free throws already for the game, and he's hit all 6.
He gets a well-earned break here with 50 seconds.
27-13.
Just when you think you can chill, you got Cedar coming in.
Well, Coach Trigar using everybody today, and he's got to do that on the 3rd game of a triple header. Magnay can't get that one to fall.
Yeah, they do, and good move from Magnay.
Cedar has it now. Gets inside the paint. Looking for the corner 3. It's not there. They swing it to Blitzav. His 3 is good from the wing.
Yeah, great ball movement again. Penetration, feeding the paint, kick.
And it's almost the complete opposite of the women's game. McCoy got worked in the women's game in the first quarter. Now it's McCoy doing work in the first quarter of the men's action. Philp has it. Looking for a gap. He loses it. Blitzavs comes up with it. He throws up a wild one. That's way off. And at the quarter time break, it's a 17-point lead for McCoy, 30-13. Really impressive quarter there for McCoy, led by Todd Blanchfield.
Yeah, he was in everything, period.
Yeah, it was a great team performance. Really good, and it was a good start from Spartans, but it kind of died down about 2 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we say establish Magnay as a target, that's great. Doesn't mean that everyone needs to relax now. So, you know, they need to get more cutters and more movement out of it after they dump in. You know, just a lot of standing and watching, I find, or there might be one cutter versus it could be the second or third cutter where you get good action. Again, I'd be trying to keep the defense honest too. Maybe you want to pressure the Meteors game 3 in 3 days. Little half-court trap, maybe even pick them up full court. Spartans have got plenty of guys who can go. So they need to do something to try and change the tempo of the game.
Yeah, well, they're down 17. It's the quarter time break, so we'll take one as well in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you here at Roland Cowan Stadium at the quarter time break. It's McCoy 30 over the Spartans 13. McCoy led by Todd Blanchfield and Titus Robinson's 8 points. McCoy shot 50% from the field, got to the free throw line 13 times, hitting on 11 of those shots. And to me, Dave, that was the difference. Not really settling for jump shots, really doing a conscious effort to get inside and get to the bucket.
Yeah, and I think just mixing it up, I think was key as well. King's going to come back in here and start here with 2. I think it'll really deflate them if he gets a foul early in the second quarter. But I want to see guys like Jared Eustace get more involved. 8 minutes, 1 shot, and a foul.
Well, here comes King off the steal, dumps it off for Eustace, and then they're going to get. I don't know if they called the foul there. I think they just said it was stripped out of bounds by Wicks.
Yeah, I mean, I need more production from Eustace. He's got to get in the game. He's got to either crash boards, make defensive plays. He's a good playmaker. And they need that from him. They need more scoring options. But it's not just him looking to be a scorer. It's him being a playmaker.
Phil finds Eustace in the corner. His 3 is too strong. Quigley with the offensive rebound. Out to Philp, whose 3 is good.
Good job from Quigley hitting the glass, which gave an opportunity for Philp, and he's a good set shooter.
And then he draws the offensive foul on Lucas Blitzavs. And then they get Blitzavs for an intentional foul. I don't think he did it on purpose. He was kind of throwing his arms up to complain about the foul call, and then he got Quigley right in the face.
Yeah. I don't think he didn't see him there, so.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely don't think it was an intentional hit to the face, but in a situation like that, you don't really have much of a choice but to call the unsportsmanlike, because, you know, if Quigley gets hit in the face like that, he's going to turn around absolutely firing. So, incidental, yes, you still got to protect the player on that occasion.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but the right call.
Well, they signaled for the unsportsmanlike, so. All right, so Blitzev does get the 2 fouls. 1 for the offensive foul on the, I think it was a block or a moving pick. And then they got Blitzevs for the unsportsmanlike. We met Lucas in McCoy last year, Dave. Probably couldn't meet a nicer dude. I don't think that was intentional at all.
No, not at all. I think he Quigley came up to knock the ball out, and he didn't see him behind there, so not much in it.
Quigley hits the first and the second. So 2 big buckets. And good little start here for the Spartans. They got starting with a 5-0 run. Cuts the deficit to 12.
Yeah, good call. Definitely illegal pick.
Magne gets called for the moving screen.
Illegal screen called on Will Magna, his second personal.
Must have been a legal screen because Dave agreed with the referees, so must have been a good one.
Well, you know, and Benny Thompson didn't complain either. It was pretty clear.
Robinson goes at Magne, spins to
nice
his
move.
left. It's no good. How about the one-handed rebound from Cedar? He's open in the corner. 3 is up. That's short. Eustace with the D-board.
Comes up with the defensive board.
Deshaun King barrels his way to the bucket. They're going to get King for the offensive foul.
Yeah, I was going to say. Which is his 3rd. I should be like, call me Nostradamus, man.
Well, he's trying to get himself involved in the game, so you can't fault him for trying to be aggressive.
He's going to have about 5 odd minutes next to his name in the first half, and 1 missed shot, and that will be his second turnover.
Well, Blanchfield is back in. Wicks gets it to Blanchfield on the wing. They go to Robinson. Robinson squares up and fires a baseline jumper that's short. Knocked out of bounds off the hands of Dylan Gray. So possession stays with McCoy.
Yeah, you just can't teach the championship experience. They're just a good grit to the McCoy group. Everyone's hitting the glass. They're getting cheap offensive rebounds, which is, you know, keeping them in control of the game right now.
Blanchfield out to Gamblin for 3.
And then you get guys coming in like Gamblin and Rass knocking down threes, doing exactly what they need to do.
I'd say a nice extra pass there. Blanchfield could have shot that corner 3. He just moves it 1 extra, and Gamblin's got the better look.
I'm loving the Robinson-Magnay matchup.
Philp fading away, that's off. Cedar gets the defensive rebound. He's gonna fire a deep one. Robinson, very active, can't control the rebound. They kick it ahead. Eustace back out to Philp. Wing 3 is up, and that rattles home for Mitch Philp. Cedar out to Robinson, another wing 3, too strong. 12 points to lead here for McCoy. Philp, heat check. He's cooled off. Here's Blanchfield from the elbow.
Well, it's just, you know, heat checks are cute and all.
Are they counting that one? No basket, okay.
Not when you're down 12. You know, that's just a really bad shot.
Dribble, shot. Got to get a little ball movement before you want to fire away.
Well, again, it's, you know, you don't win the game in the second quarter. So it's getting the ball through hands. That's when they've been good, is through ball through hands, body movement, making the passes. And that's when Philps made his 2 threes. He's off good ball movement where he's a you know, really good set shooter in the 3. Missed Gamblin under the rim.
They found him, and Gamblin finishes. That's just too easy.
Yeah.
He was under there for a good 3 or 5 seconds.
Well, McCoy's getting whatever they want down that end, Johnny, as you say. Defensively, there's just no disruption, really not taking anything away.
Nice dump off Magnay. All over Mitch Gamblin with the 2 hands.
Yeah, they made some really nice reads on that pick and roll with Magnay.
That was a nice look there from Dylan Gray. He's given them some nice minutes here this afternoon. Blanchfield working against Quigley, finds Gamblin. Now corner 3 from Larkins. That's wet. Jumper's looking nice out of the hands of Nelson Larkins.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of stretching the floor, making that extra pass. And McCoy Meteors 4th in the league this year so far on 3-point percentage, so you know they're one of the more efficient teams.
Gray's 3 hits the back of the rim. Robinson, another rebound.
He's shot a couple now, kind of an interesting form on his jump shot.
Robinson, hook shot over. Magnay is nice. You don't see the hook shot like that much anymore.
I think the Spartans want to try and take the air out of it a bit. This is a McCoy tempo pace.
Backdoor cut by Eustace. He finishes with a nice layup. It's a good look there from Philp to Eustace. Larkins from the top of the key.
Well, back-to-back threes.
That's good again. You talked. I talked a little bit about it in the preseason. I wasn't expecting Nelson to be able to really fill the offensive shoes of Sean Bruce, but he's done a great job on that end for McCoy throughout the season, and we're seeing it here again this afternoon, Dave.
Yeah, he's you know, really been handy for them, and they've just got such a balanced attack. You know, almost 5 guys are averaging double figures, and you know, Larkins has been good, 16 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds every night, and generally defending, you know, an import 1.
Yeah, Philp and Magnay hook up again. Seemed to be a pretty good combo. Larkins picks up his dribble. Robinson long two is good.
Yeah, again, you know, Magnay's got to do a better job defending that. Because Robinson's now super comfortable.
Gray has it. Over to Magnay, gets it back from Magnay. Now Philp working off a Eustace screen. Quigley in the corner, now Magnay, he'll fire a three. It's short, and another defensive rebound from Robinson. He's got hops. Larkins again, top of the key three. That's in and out. McCoy's bench was ready to explode on that one. Philp throws it up. There's a foul inside. And a tech foul. That one goes against Chris Cedar.
Did he just tech him? Did he say
Yeah.
he teched him for trash talk?
I'm not really a good
I'm trying
lip
to read
reader.
lip reader.
But that's a double on Cedar, the personal, and then the tech. So he's got three. There's a timeout taken on the floor, though, by Coach Thompson. So we'll take one as well. 4:18 to go in the first half. An 18-point lead for McCoy over Spartans on your QBL Game of the Week. Presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you live here at Roland Cowan Stadium. It was a timeout taken by Coach Thompson. Before that, it was a personal foul on Chris Cedar and then a technical foul. So substitution was made. The foul was on Will Magnay. But I guess Gibson's shooting the technical. So Gibson hits that one.
Well, better second quarter here, Johnny. It's 15 all in the second quarter. Still feels like McCoy's absolutely in control.
Oh, they are up 17, so it has been a better quarter from Spartans, but they need to get stops and get some buckets as well. Quigley, long two, is short. Tipped around, and Blitzabs comes down with it.
Yeah, good look, though, from Spartans. Better offense. As they've gone into their two now, their zone, to see if they can try and stop the threes.
Doesn't help there. Robinson sets a great screen, and Blanchfield comes firing off of it. Leads out to 20 now for McCoy. Eustace off the Quigley screen. They're going to get Quigley for the moving screen. Zapanovic getting set to check back in.
Well, that was a tough one. Kind of a little bit of Jared's fault too. He went a bit early. Should have just waited for the screen to set and then come off. I think he was just keen to come off it a bit early, and a little bit of movement from Quigley, and Larkins did a good job of getting sandwiched in the middle and making some contact.
He's got a bit of that dog in him, doesn't he, Dave?
He does.
Blitzabs can't finish, but he's fouled inside. Andre Greenwich going to check in for Ben Volkman.
Nope, he doesn't get a break. Ben Volkman gets a break there. Andre Greenwich into the game.
Blitzabs hits the first one.
Trigger's having a conference with the McCoy crew in front of us here.
Offensive rebound there by Blanchfield. He can't follow. Quigley comes down with it. Philp now calling out the set. Philp rips on Larkins, gets to the rim. He's fouled. It's a nice move there by Mitch Philp. I know that's one of your favorites, Dave. The strong rip move to the bucket.
Yeah, great move. Just, yeah, there's been some interesting rotations here so far, Johnny. I guess, you know, difficult too when you look at the scoreboard. You're down 20, you're trying to look for a spark and see if you can inject some guys. And it's been challenging too for the coaching staff because they have had all kinds of different guys every week. So it's, from a chemistry point of view, it's been a tough season for the Spartans. Hopefully now they can get this crew rolling and get some wins together.
They're down 19 with 3 minutes to go in the first. Blitzabs from the free throw line. That's a nice jump shot.
Well, again, defensively in this too, they're really losing guys. You still got to guard someone in their zone. And again, we talked about just not taking anything away. McCoy's just doing whatever they want, putting up 50 points in the first half.
Use this from the top of the key. His three is off. Blitzabs grabs the rebound and hands off for Larkins. Larkins getting the horn set ready. Doesn't use the screen, picks up his dribble. Blitzabs a deep three that's off. Good board there by Magnay. Larkins has the Philp matchup at the moment. Alley-oop pass. Magnay with a nice catch, and he's fouled from behind by Zapanovic. So Will Magnay will go to line for a couple shots. It's a good catch in traffic there from the big fella.
Yeah, a bit of contact on the catch, but came down. I thought he was going to try and rip it.
You're looking for another big one, huh, Dev?
Well, now we've got standards, mate. I want to see alley-oops off the glass like last night.
Well, we did talk to Rayshawn Simmons after that one. That was something they had in their bag for a bit. Looking to break it out, and what a great game to break it out in when you take down the team at the top of the table.
Yeah, and I'm sure for the Logan crew, hopefully they get a lot of confidence from that and rattle some more wins as they got some tougher games over the next month.
Yeah, well, they're playing Gold Coast this afternoon. I'll see if I can get an update for you as Greenwich fires a three. That's good. They're going to call it a long two.
Whack. Look good out of the hands.
Three-pointer. Again.
Third triple for Larkins. He has been shooting a good clip this season as well.
Magnay, double team, gets it back out to Greenwich. Now Gibson uses the pump fake. Goes back inside. Magnay's hook shot is short. Tipped around. Eustace saves it out to Philp. Wing three. Too strong. Greenwich loses the rebound to Blanchfield, and here comes Blanchfield.
Well, they've done a good job of doubling Magnay pretty much on the catch. And he's just got to sometimes have just get a catch and look, because if he can get rid of it quickly too, that means there's an advantage.
Zapanovic for three, goes in and out. There's Magnay with the defensive rebound. Philp skips it over. Eustace can't handle the pass, and Larkins has a 3-on-1. Dumps it off for Gamblin. Layup is no good. But they're going to get basket interference on Greenwich.
Does Larkins get an assist on that, Riggs? Like, he should have got an assist, but they called a basket.
Yeah, it's a regular basket.
Yeah, so I was curious when they call goaltending or.
Yeah, no, the stats guy should still put it through because realistically, it's still a normal passage of play and it's just counting because of the interference. So he'll still get the assist.
We'll double check that at halftime for you, Dave.
No, I'm just interested.
Gibson splits the D, gets it out. Philp fires the three. That's good by Mitch Philp. Coach Cam Trigar wants a timeout with 10 seconds to go in the half. His team up 20. Let's keep it here, though, Dave. Pretty pretty good timeout from Coach Trigar, looking to probably run a set play. It's a good opportunity too with your team up 20, 10 seconds to go.
Yeah.
This is a late game, late clock situation.
Well, absolutely. You can train for this in practice, and this is a great real game experience. Big shot from Philp too. Had a good hand on him, and Philp's done a good job. Knocked down his third three of the first half as well.
I don't think the Gold Coast Logan game has started yet. It'll start in about 15 minutes. Looking at the final score down in Ipswich, Townsville bounces back after that loss last night. They win that one 94-71. And it looks like up in Cairns that the Cairns Marlins are going to get a win over the Gladstone Port City Power. Score is, well, on the live stats it says 106-81 with a few minutes to go. Let's see if it's a final yet. It's not a final, but Cairns is up 110-83 over Gladstone with 53 seconds to go. So you got to think Cairns will come home with that win.
Yeah, good win from Townsville. They were only up 5, I think, early in the third quarter. So they must have got a bit angry in the third and fourth and turned it on. But, they'll finish the road trip 2-1. And, again, it's sometimes like last night when they weren't their best, you just got to move on, make the adjustment.
Let's see what adjustments McCoy made. I don't know if that's what they were looking for. A really deep three from Larkins is off. And that's the end of the first half, 56-36. Can't imagine what that was what Coach Trigar drew up.
No, I didn't even. I'm assuming he'd be a bit dirty about it because it didn't look like anything probably he drew up. But that's the breaks. Move on, up 20. Keep the guys positive.
Can't complain with that performance from McCoy. Really impressed with their first half of action here, Dave. They're up 20. Spartans have shown to have a little bit of a run in them, but they just really haven't been able to get over the hump yet.
Yeah, well, they only lost the quarter by 3, and a lot of that was Philp with his 11 points, guiding them, and Magnay's got 13 as well. But other than that, that's pretty much their only offense. So they've just got to get some guys who can get going. I mean, they've got the talent, obviously, with Gibson. King hasn't literally played the first half with foul trouble, but utilising, the Ben Volkmans of the world, and maybe it'd be worth going a bit big, playing Volkman and Magnay at the 4-5 and seeing what impact that had against McCoy maybe in the third quarter.
Well, we'll see what adjustments the teams make. It is the halftime with McCoy up 20, 56-36 over the Southern District Spartans. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some halftime statistics and the second half of action here in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Welcome back to halftime at Roland Cowan Stadium. It's 56-36 the lead for McCoy over the Southern District Spartans. Taking a look at some of the halftime statistics, leading the way for McCoy. They've got 3 players in double digits, led by Titus Robinson. He's got 12 points, 6 rebounds, and an assist, along with the steal. Dave, they don't have him with any offensive rebounds. I'm shocked at that. All 6 of those are defensive. And you got Todd Blanchfield. He's got 11 points. He's only 2 of 6 from the field, but he's got to the free throw line 6 times and hit all 6. He's got 5 rebounds, also 5 assists. And Nelson Larkins at 11 points with a rebound and 4 assists. McCoy shot 50% from the field, 42% from 3, and got to the line 15 times. So really impressive statistics, and that's reflected on the scoreboard, Dave.
Yeah, they've given the there's 3 O boards to the team. Which, let's just say that's Titus.
We'll give that to, yeah, okay.
Anyway, they're only human. I mean, the biggest thing really is the 12 turnovers is a killer. You know, and the Spartans can't afford that. I mean, they, you know, they're not one of the better teams in looking after the pill this year. Equally in their assists as well, they're quite low around the sharing of the ball. So, you know, that comes from having guys in and out. But there was patches there. I mean, that was a much better second quarter, of course, where they only lost by 3. You know, again, 3 shots for Gibson, 3 shots for Gray, 4 for Eustace. They just need some more. They need more production from 8 points from their, you know, 3 of their key backcourt guys.
Yeah, they were led by Will Magnace, 13 points. He had 6 rebounds as well. And the only other player in double figures for Spartans was Mitch Philp with 11 points. He had 2 rebounds and 4 assists. Spartans shot 41% from the field. They took 15 threes. They only hit 3 of those, so that's 20%. And also they had Deshaun King in foul trouble with 3 personals. He's back out on the floor. The action's underway here in the second half.
I'm not going to mention King in foul trouble, okay, because it didn't go well in the first half when I talked about it. Let's try and keep him in the game.
Gibson's elbow jumper is off. Rasmussen gets it on the block. Finds Blanchfield cut into the bucket. He hits the shot. Do we just get another technical foul call? Let's see here. Technical foul on Mitch Philp right away. So 2 team fouls on 1 possession to start the second half for the Spartans.
It's been a little testy this weekend.
It has been.
We've not had a good run, really,
We've
have
had
we?
like 5 tees in the last 2 games.
I think what's happening is the teams are really now, everyone's starting to look at the ladder a bit, starting to look at the schedule and see where they're at, and every game and every possession is important. They are definitely getting testy. Blanchfield. Referees are conferring. I thought Blanchfield hit the shot, so I don't know.
He did hit the shot,
Did
yeah.
it go in? I thought it rimmed out.
I thought it was an and 1 play personally.
So I don't know why he shot 2.
Well, he would have taken 1 for the and 1 play, so he made the bucket and got the foul, so he takes 1 free throw for that, and then there's 1 free throw for the technical foul as well. So what they've actually done is correct. I'm not sure why there's still a bit of questioning going on.
Okay. Well, the confusion on the court is seeping into my brain. I'm confused. And here's the third free throw.
I thought it missed, but anyway, I could have been mistaken.
But if we, yeah, I don't know. But what's on the scoreboard up there is reflective of what I've got on my screen, and that was based off the fact that the points went in.
Bucket went in, yeah.
Well, he took 3 free throws.
Well, Philp's got 4 now.
Yeah, Mitch Philp with the technical picks up his 4th. He's going to stay out on the floor. They do need him out there, Dave, because they're down, and he's been one of their best this afternoon. Cedar gets inside, misses the layup, and Eustace comes down with it. King, long 2, in and out.
Yeah, they do a good job. You know, we talked about Johnny with Magne hitting that cross-court pass off a quick entry. And again, they've done as Larkins did it with a bad pass. That's what they do a good job. Rasmussen's been being a post target, but he's getting a nice kick out and a nice cross-court pass, which is causing Spartans trouble as they close out.
Eustace inside, Gibson inside to Magne, misses. Magne gets called for the reach-in foul. That's Magne's third, the team's third. Minute 30 into the second half. And Philp going to get that breather now. Ben Volkman checks in. And here's that big lineup, Dave, you thought they might go with here. So you got Volkman and Magne on the floor with Gibson, Eustace, and King. McCoy answers with Blanchfield, Rasmussen, Robinson, Cedar, and Larkins. Cedar with another offensive rebound. Hands off for Robinson. He's fouled by Jared Eustace.
Yeah, great job. Love it when the offensive hit the glass and then get rewarded with more fouls.
That foul is called
And really just grinding away here, McCoy.
on number 5, Jared Eustace.
Couple of decent looks. Haven't really capitalized on those, but just relentless on the glass.
Yeah.
And that's what we talked to Coach Chagar before the game, and he was looking at that as a key for them in this game.
Yeah, and you know, we said in the opener that there's a reason why they're second in the league in rebounds. They just got a good identity around A, defensive box outs, and then B, they're hitting the glass hard, and you go get a couple of cheap ones like that and it leads to a foul, and it's always really good positive action when you can hit the glass.
It's going to be a long quarter for Spartans from here on in as well. I mean, we're only 2 minutes in and they're on 14 fouls, so it's going to be a long struggle for them.
Nice defensive rebound there from Robinson. He finds Larkins in the corner, now Cedar. Robinson squares up against Magne.
Nice.
Can't finish with the left hand.
Yeah, good footwork from Robinson. He's really smooth in the block. He's showing you his face-up Jimmy, and he's made some really nice post plays.
Here's King with it now, working off the Magne screen. He goes at Robinson and hands off for Volkman. Back to King with 6 on the shot clock. King out to Gibson. His wing three is good. And there's a foul inside. Not sure they're going to give that one to.
I think Robinson,
3 points count.
just on the box out.
Number 30, Titus Robinson.
Gray checks back in for Spartans.
Dylan Gray.
You're looking
Gibson
confused, Dave. Gibbo walked off the court before.
Yeah, I know.
That's the sub.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know why there was a sub. That's all.
Gibbo wanted it. I think he walked off. I don't think that's who the original sub was for, and Gibbo just walked off. So I think he wanted it.
Right.
Volkman finds Gray cutting to the basket. Can't finish. Fights for the rebound and turns it over, though. Gets it to Blanchfield, 3-on-2. Hands off for Cedar. Can't finish with the left. Gray gets it out to King. King spins, trying to force his way to the bucket. He does, plus the foul.
Wow.
It's a great finish from King.
I don't know. That's good defense to me. He was straight up, showed his hands. I don't know what more you want him to do. Good move though.
Well, there was definitely a lot of contact. I always look at it this way, and you may disagree with me. You may think I'm wrong, but if he misses that one, you probably would have called it a foul because he misses.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just think it wasn't a foul when he had picked the ball up, so I'm not sure if he got a hand as he shot it, but anyway.
Well, it doesn't always have to be with the hand. It could be with the body, and I think that was it on that one.
Well, I think it was.
That one goes against Volkman, battling for position with Titus Robinson. And that's going to be the 5th one, so Robinson's going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
And as per your comment, Regan, could be part of the free throw fest for the next 6 minutes because the Spartans have showed poor discipline so far.
The bench gets a bench warning as well. Having to do a lot of commentary on the refereeing here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a slog, this one.
Leads up to 21 for McCoy. 3.5 into the third.
I don't know why Magno's not there. Like, he's played 4 minutes. Surely he can go more than 4 minutes. Johnny, is that fair?
Well, Volkman just got called for the 3-second violation. Mitch Gamblin checking in for Chris Cedar.
Do you know what I mean? Like third quarter, you need to make a game of it. You know.
Well, it's not
because if it's not a game in another 4 minutes, he ain't going to play in the fourth. Who cares? You're going to lose by 25. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got to make a stand now, and I'm not sure why Magne or Gibbo's out.
Well, it's not a good sign when Gibbo checks himself out of the game.
Yeah, maybe he's injured.
You've got Philp on the bench with his foul trouble. You'd have to think you need your two big guns in there. King tries to hand it off.
Well, the open three wasn't good enough apparently for King, and he caused the traffic. Oh, sorry, drove into traffic, and another offensive rebound.
They want the horn set here with 8 on the shot clock. Larkins goes off the Robinson screen. He's double teamed. Rasmussen open for 3.
Well, they've got an open 3 off that same set every time they've run it, which has been Ras. So the Spartans have done a poor job of recognizing it. As Robinson dives, Ras lifts, and he's had 4 open 3s. He's made 2 of them.
King wants the Volkman screen. He gets it. Kicks it out to Quigley. Gonna fire the deep 2. That's good from Quigley.
Quigley rising up and nails the mid-range jumper.
Passed up the 3 for the 2. And then they get Volkman again. That's Volkman's 3rd. Nelson Larkins fouled, so he'll go to the line for a couple shots. And a timeout taken on the floor by Coach Thompson, so we'll take one as well. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's 63-44. McCoy over the Spartans on your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Welcome back to Roland Cowan Stadium. It's a 19-point deficit for Spartans against McCoy with Titus Robinson at the free throw line for a couple shots. The foul was on Ben Volkman, his 3rd.
It was actually not. It was on number 2.
Yeah, they
sorry,
called it on
in the
Gray.
end. Yeah,
They did.
on Gray.
For a hold.
Interesting.
Gee, the wind's come out of this game the last few minutes.
Well, that's McCoy's 23rd and 24th free throw already this afternoon, Dave. Just making an absolute living at the free throw line.
Yeah, the other thing too for the Meteors, they actually commit the least amount of fouls as well, Johnny. So generally, there's a reason why they're top of the table is because they've got good commitment to their defense.
Quigley hits another jump shot. He's got a couple for the Spartans. Larkins out to Blitzavs, top of the key 3. It's short. Defensive rebound to King. Eustace, now Ugrinich, he'll fire a 3. That rattles home.
Couple of good kicks in transition for the Spartans, and Ugrinich hitting a couple of 3s.
That's better ball movement, and you see that's when they're successful on a couple passes.
Yeah, well, Unfortunately for most of today, they've showed you why they're 13th in assists, but that was a much better effort.
Blitzavs hits a three. Gambling gets called for a blocking foul. You don't mind that blocking foul King was picking up ahead of steam?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wicks checks in for Larkins. King drives baseline, gets it out to Quigley. Now Eustace, he'll fire a wing three. It's too strong, it's tipped. And then Gray saves it. Eustace recovers. And King's three is nothing but net. So shots starting to fall here. Spartans making a little bit of a run here.
Yeah, much better body language, better energy. Eustace is trying to get the guys pumped up.
They trap. Blitzavs open again for three. He misses. Robinson can't get the rebound. Quigley hits the deck. Excuse me, that's Gray who hits the deck, and there's a foul on the floor.
Who's she going to call a foul on? Oh, wow.
Goes against Lucas Blitzavs. And a flop warning?
I don't know what's going on. I see 4 guys going for the ball, which is jump ball. I don't understand a flop warning.
Allegedly for something down the other end of the court to play before, but I don't remember seeing anyone drastically hit the deck on.
No,
nothing stood out.
Gamblin got caught on the King foul, and then there was a 3. I'm not going to go all LeBron on you and tell you the last 6 possessions, okay?
You should.
But I'm not going to.
LeBron Derwin, I like it. King through the contact.
Yeah, good take from King. Much better from the Spartans. And again, it's just a little bit of physicality. That really just turned up the physicality.
And Coach Trigar not liking what he's seeing from his troops. He takes a timeout with 3 minutes to go in the third. We'll take one as well. It's the 68-52, the lead for McCoy over the Spartans. The QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you here at Roland Cowan Stadium. Spartans on a bit of a run, cutting their deficit to 16, 68-52 with 3 to go in the third. It's been really good energy and a good positive impact the bench has had over this last run for Spartans, Dave.
Yeah, and again, we talked a little bit about the fatigue at the start, Johnny, with game 3 for the Meteors. And they don't necessarily look tired. They've just sort of settled for a couple of easy shots and a couple of quick shots. Which are okay shots, but again, the difference between a good and a bad one is often making it these days with the amount of 3 shot. But again, I just go back to some simple stuff, get some stuff for Blanchfield, go into the basket. You haven't got Gibson, so really you're trying to establish Blanchfield here.
There is Blanchfield. He'll fire a long two. It's off the side of the rim. Good rebound there by Greenwich. Here's King. Nice move inside. Can't finish, but he's fouled. Getting saucy with it. Coach Chigar going to reinsert Chris Cedar.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be too long before some of the other guys come back in. Again, you just don't want to give them a sniff. Up 14. You got to get you guys rest like Robinson and Larkins, but if the bench can't come in and protect the lead, then got to insert the guys back in.
Yeah, and King's really made a difference. He was in foul trouble that first half, but he's been very good so far in the third.
He's probably been thinking about it for a half.
Hits them both. So lead is 12. And Magne is going to check back in for Dan Quigley. Great energy and great effort there from Quigley. Really nice minutes off the bench for Spartans. They're down 12 with 2:30 to go now in the third. Blitzav's top of the key three. Hits the front of the rim. Fighting for it, and Gray swipes it. He gets it out to King. King working against Blanchfield, again fouled on his way to the bucket. It's going to be another pair of free throws for Deshaun King.
First personal. Deshaun King back to the free throw line.
Well, Lucas is an okay three-point shooter, but the last couple have missed, and I just think they need to be a bit more patient in again establishing some stuff going to the basket. Everything's a jump shot at the moment for McCoy.
Got to give a bit of credit to Spartans defense also. They've really tightened the screws a bit, and they're not allowing McCoy to get that penetration that you're after.
Yeah. And again, you know, the Spartans have done exactly what we just talked about, because King's been really good penetrating and putting the defense under pressure.
Hey, the deficit cut to 10 now, 68-58. McCoy in the lead. Blanchfield double teamed. Finds Robinson. Robinson will fire the jumper from the free throw line, and Magne gets the defensive rebound. King using his dribble. He wants to reset. Wants the screen from Magne. He'll fire a deep three. That's short. Rebound, though, go to Magne. King tripped up. Let's see who they give that one to. It's going to go against Titus Robinson. That's his fourth personal. And again, Deshaun King going to go to the free throw line. This can cut the deficit to single digits.
Third, Johnny, I think. Well, they held up third. So.
All right, I saw it. They must have got it on the board before.
Yeah.
So third. Thank you for the correction, Dave.
Well, it hasn't been much offensively from the Spartans other than chuck the ball to King. But McCoy's done a poor job in trying to take some stuff and make it a bit harder for him. If his intent is going to drive, then they need to do a better job. Especially considering, I don't think, you know, he doesn't want to shoot the three. He's a bit reluctant shooting the three. He certainly wants to drive as the priority.
Well, it's an 8-0 run. I heard the announcer say 8-0 run, and all 8 to King. Cedar fires a three. That one's too strong. Nice offensive rebound by Robinson. And then they get a foul on Nelson Larkins. And again, clock stops, and Spartans going to go to the free throw line for two. Goes against Dylan Gray, so Gray go to the line for 2 shots.
This is their 11th and 12th free throw of the quarter, Johnny. So they've done a good job of pegging it back from the foul line.
Gray missed them both. Those were 2 big ones. Would have cut the deficit to 6. King comes up with the steal. You know he's got the hops and puts it down with one hand. Titus Robinson didn't want to catch one there. He pulled back at the last minute. Lead is 6 now for McCoy. Robinson on the other end can't finish with the left. Nice tip there, though, by Lucas Blitzavs.
Well, again, something better going to the glass, creating offensive rebounding opportunities.
Magne's pass is tipped around. King recovers. He's got 10 on the shot clock. Goes inside to Magne. Magne out to Eustace. Wing 3 is up. Bounces around. Gray gets the tip. Then there's going to be another foul. That one again against Nelson Larkins on Dylan Gray. That's Larkins' 4th personal. And Gray going to go back to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Yeah, the Spartans have done a really good job of scrapping.
Subs for McCoy. Which can run in.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't like the number of rebounding fouls that have been called in this game as a whole. Like, it's kind of ruined the spectacle of it. Like, let the boys fight for the rebound. I mean, you got 2 teams with a lot of big names and big players on the floor here. You got to let them have that fight. I think it's been called a little bit too tightly from inside on the rebound. It's stopping the game a little bit too much.
I think the coaches will agree with you. Gray's 2 free throws cuts the Spartans deficit to 6. They get King.
Well, there's just no need for him to poke his mitts in. Was King right?
And it was against King. That's his 4th. They definitely called it against Deshaun King. They were trying to get it on Dylan Gray. Referees were having none of it. So Blanchfield going to go to the free throw line for 2.
You know, they're the possession games, or possession changes, because, again, they've done a fantastic job of getting back in the game. They're a plus 12 this quarter. All the momentum was with Spartans. And then you go and send Blanchfield to the foul line.
He goes 1 of 2. Spartans can hold for 1 shot. Dylan Gray kicks it over to Eustace. Eustace gets inside. Ugrinich is open, but they're going to get Jared Eustace for the offensive foul.
1.8 on the clock here. Mactown might have a chance.
Is called on number 5. Jared Eustace.
I'll give you a tip. It's going to Blanchfield and Cedar.
Well, they get it to Cedar. He's going to throw up a 3/4 court shot. That's off. And a great 3rd quarter from the Spartans. Cuts their deficit to 7, 71-64. Really impressive quarter. Do they have another one in them, Dave? We're going to find out soon. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the final quarter of action on your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Welcome back to Roland Cowan Stadium. An excellent 3rd quarter from the Brisbane Spartans. They won that one 28-15 to get themselves back within 7. Coach Tregar trying to fire up the troops. He wants that 3-0 road trip. He wants to go back with 3 wins, Dave. He's got the 7-point lead in the 4th. Well, what does McCoy have to do to go home 3-0 on this 3-game road trip?
Do something about number 3 when he didn't play the first, effectively 0 points in the first 4 minutes. His next 10 was handy as he scored 16 in the 3rd. And everything was king in the 3rd quarter for the Spartans.
Well,
and he's not on the floor.
He's got those 4 fouls, as does Nelson Larkins for McCoy. Cedar is going to fire a 3. It's too strong.
He's putting a lot of faith in the other Spartan boys here to try and get them home.
Quigley over to Magne, now Eustace.
Always a tough call when guys are in foul trouble, who you go to or don't go to.
Philp, he'll fire a fadeaway 3. That's off. Robinson again with another big rebound.
Well, if McCoy keeps forcing those kind of shots, Johnny, they will go home 3-0.
Blanchfield finds Robinson, elbow jump shot is good from Titus Robinson.
Just simple, smart basketball. Simple flash to the high post, turnaround jump shot. And again, Robinson's got good lift on his jump shot, so.
He's got good lift on everything.
He does have good lift on everything.
Phillips' pass is stolen. Blanchfield comes up with it, but he loses it out of bounds. Philp kicks it to Quigley. Now back to Philp. Good ball movement here. Eustace gets inside. He can't finish, but he's fouled. It's a nice aggressive take from Eustace. We haven't seen it much this afternoon.
Yeah, I think they needed to, in that pick and roll action, they need to put Eustace in that corner. So as they come off and Magne dives, then the guy's got to dig in a little bit on Eustace, which creates nice space for him because he's a good three-point shooter. Whereas Quigley's really not going to shoot the 3. That's not really in his game.
Quigley is a unicorn, man. He could do everything on the floor.
He can do most things, but he doesn't want to shoot the 3 that often.
He owes me a couple 3s. He promised me one tonight, so we'll see if he delivers. Eustace hits the 2, so it's 7 points still the lead here for McCoy. Got 8.5 minutes to go in the game. Blanchfield, jumper's blocked by Magne. Quigley comes down with it. Eustace picks up his dribble, gets it out to Philp. Philp gets a screen from Magne, goes back to Magne. Nice catch, reverse layup is good. And now the lead 5 for McCoy.
Patience and balance for the reverse layup on the feed from Mitch Philp.
Cedar creates some space. Teardrop is nice.
Well, Cedar's going to lick his chops if Gray's going to continue to guard him one-on-one. Cedar's had a really quiet game so far. Just happy to be a facilitator. But that often means that, that's offensive. Often that'll mean, though, that Cedar might get hot in this 4th quarter to bring home the boys.
Well, Blanchfield steps in and takes the charge. Draws it on Jared Eustace. That's Eustace, his 4th. So Eustace has 4. Deshaun King also has 4.
Only 2 of 8 for Cedar so far in the game, Johnny. As he's going to play the 1 here, they're looking to run some action for Blanchfield.
Let's see if Cedar calls his own number. Blanchfield wing 3 is no good, but there's a foul. Looks like it's inside. Goes against Magne, battling for a position against Rasmussen. That's Will Magne's 4th, the 2nd team foul on Spartans. Volkman gonna check into the game for Will Magne. Coach Thompson gonna want Magne for that end game. Cedar stepped out of bounds, so turns it over. Good result there for Spartans. Philp calling out the horn set. Philp flips it up, it's off. Gambling now for McCoy. Cedar again steps through and gets it to fall. Same move, and it worked both times.
Well, he's looking for Blanchfield, but I just keep going to that ISO against Gray right now, just for the next couple minutes until the Spartans make an adjustment.
Philip, a long two, rolls in and out, tipped out of bounds off the hands of Gamblin. It's going to stay with Spartans. And Deshaun King checks into the game, but Coach Trigar going to take a timeout, so we'll take one as well. 77-68, the lead for McCoy over Spartans in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you here at Roland Cowan Stadium.
Sorry, Johnny.
It's 77-68.
Good sub from Coach Thompson. He saw the look in Cedar's eyes and decided to put King back in, which was a good move.
Yeah, I think Cedar needs to recognize that King's working on 4 fouls. Wouldn't be surprised to see Chris Cedar go right back at Deshaun King. Instead, Robinson's hook shot is nice. He's got great footwork.
Yeah.
Really impressed with Robinson. Done a great job on both sides of the court. Kick ball there by Rasmussen. So shot clock will stay at 16 seconds.
Oh, wow.
That's Cedar's 4th personal, the second team foul on McCoy.
I'm going to hold my tongue.
Thought it was going against King there. That would have been his 5th.
Either that or the illegal screen from Volkman. I mean, take your pick. But anyway, that's all right. They got him on that one, which actually probably wasn't.
That's good positioning there by Gamblin.
Oh, I think it's a no call. I mean, that one. Anyway.
Let him play.
Absolutely. It was good. It should have been a no call.
Well, Volkman's got 3 personals. There's 3 team fouls against Spartans. 6 minutes to go in the game. Gamblin inside for Robinson. Past the double team. He can't finish, though. And Volkman gets called for his 2nd.
And again, sorry, but that's a bad call again. That's a good screen.
Got ahead, got his feet set.
His feet set, didn't drop his shoulder. Not his fault. Gambler didn't look.
It was a heavy contact, but
Regan,
that's what a screen is.
Do you think 50-50?
I tend to say no call. On that situation, I mean, I don't think that needs a call. I mean, like you said, Gamblin, it's not Volkman's fault that he didn't pay any attention to where the ball was and where the screen was coming from. So I don't think that needed it. I think they just read into the fact that there was a lot of contact.
Cedar heating up, and Coach Thompson has to take the timeout. Cedar had the layup, and then Spartans turned over the inbounds pass to a Cedar 3. The lead back out to 10 now for McCoy. Dave, let's keep it here, though. 5:30 to go.
We won't talk about any more refereeing calls, okay? We promise. They're human.
What's happening here on the scoreboard, though? I see it says 84-70 in-house. We've got 84-73. Little confusion what's happened here. Let's talk about what's happening on the court, though, Dave.
Offensively, McCoy's just gone to a pretty simple technique of give the ball to Cedar. which is working. And again, like we talked about, just because he's quiet for 3 quarters means you've got to be careful in the 4th. And down the other end, again, they're just, you know, King was good in the 3rd quarter, but they need more than just one person stuff.
So score is 84-70. We're happy with that, Regan?
I had 70-83, and then somehow went to 73-84, and I don't know, it's all over the place.
It had 83-73. That's why I said that one before, but it looks like it's changed. It's corrected, so it's 84 McCoy to 70 Spartans. It's starting to run away. The clock definitely not in Spartans' favor.
That was a massive turnover where they couldn't even inbound the ball properly, and Cedar comes down and puts a dagger in their heart.
Yeah, that's just unacceptable, really, with under no pressure either. Philp, he'll fire a deep 3. That banks home. He'll take it.
Sunday banking is open. It's Philp with the 3.
So the lead is 11 for McCoy. Approaching 5 minutes to go in the game. And Coach Strigar going to reinsert Nelson Larkins at the next available time. Gamblin misses the 3. Magnay with the defensive rebound. Now to King. King with the head of steam.
Another offensive foul, and that's King gone.
And that's Gamblin again stepping in. I thought it was Gamblin. Maybe it was Mick Cedar. But Deshaun King picks up his 5th, and he's done for the afternoon after an exciting 3rd quarter. Unfortunately, doesn't have the impact that he could have had in the final.
Yeah, disappointing. Disappointing from him. He was you know, really got them energized. But again, great job from the McCoy bench guys who've come in and done really well tonight. Gambling, moving his feet, taking the charge. He's done a really good job for them tonight too.
Robinson, Rasmussen now, deep 2 is good. And it looks like McCoy is on the ascendancy here, Dave.
Just really simple basketball. They just know what they are. They know what to do when they need a bucket.
Quigley out to Philp. Wing 3 is good.
Philp doing his best to keep him in the game. I think that's his 5th 3.
And then he gets a steal from Chris Cedar. Philp misses the layup.
Great pressure from Larkins.
Now McCoy want to slow things down. They want to work the clock.
That is a big play. Again, doesn't give up on the play. Philp misses. Could have been an 8-point game.
Robinson grabs an offensive rebound, gets it out to Cedar. Top of the key 3 is short. Tipped around though, and again McCoy recovers. Larkins keeps his dribble. And then Gray gets called for the blocking foul. Spartans in the penalty, so Larkins will shoot 2. 3:40 to go, 10 points to lead for McCoy. Gotta wonder, the Spartans have one more run in them. They did it with their bench unit in the 3rd, led by Deshaun King. King's out though now. Who else can step up for Brisbane?
Well, Magnay's been really quiet. He had 6 in the first minute 36, Johnny, and he's only scored 6 in the next 20 minutes.
Philp flips it up for Magnay, who has it stripped by Larkins, but Larkins steps out of bounds.
Yeah, another good hands from Larkins. 2 good defensive plays in the last minute.
Greenwich checks in for Quigley. Larkins and Magnay pretty good mates back in their Nudgee College days, I believe.
Yeah. Not inside the white lines though.
Philp corner 3 is good. Philp heating up from 3 in the 4th.
6 of 11 from 3.
Lead is cut to 9 for McCoy. Rasmussen skips it. Larkins fires his own 3, and that rattles home. Greenwich. Now Philp gets the screen from Magne. Dumps it off. Magne's little floater is too strong.
Yeah, Philp and Magne, sorry, Johnny, they've had a couple of nice actions on their pick and roll. It's a good look from Magne.
Nelson Larkins tosses it up. Robinson, left hand layup is off, and then he fouls Magne from behind. It's going to be his, looks like his fourth personal, third team foul on McCoy here in the fourth quarter. 2:34 to go, 91-79, McCoy in the lead. Dylan Gray on the floor, guarded by Blanchfield. Philp fires a deep three, that's off. Robinson pulls it down. He goes right at Magne, misses the dunk. Eustace recovers. But then they turn it over. Cedar wants to work some clock. Larkins over to Rasmussen in the corner, that's short. Eustace has it. It's a 3-on-2 for Spartans. Philp fires a three. That rattles home. McCoy just cannot put that final nail in the coffin. They let in Spartans hang around, but the clock's certainly in McCoy's favor. Rasmussen looks inside for Robinson. They recover along the baseline. There's 4 on the shot clock. Larkin's three is too strong. Magne grabs the defensive rebound. Pass though stolen. And Cedar has it now for McCoy.
He's picked it up.
Foul's called on Philp. He gets called for the personal and the technical, so he's done now.
I think they're going to count. They should count it. He's picked the ball up after she's called the whistle.
Well, they haven't signaled whether they're going to count the bucket or not.
And Tragar knows it's right.
They still haven't signaled whether it counts or not, but I think
yeah, she's now said she's waved it off.
Okay,
I think Seed will have 3 free throws and possession.
All right, well, Coach Thompson takes a timeout. We'll take one as well. 1:20 left in the game. McCoy up 9 over Spartans. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you here at Roland Cowan Stadium. It's 1:20 to go. Mitch Philp picked up a few extra fouls there. He fouled out, I think, with the personal foul, then picked up the tee on the way out. So Chris Cedar at the free throw line for 3 shots, and this will definitely wrap it up if he can hit all 3.
Well, again, when you break it down, right, let's be honest. McCoy looked like they controlled the game really well. Somehow it turned into a 6-point game a little while ago. And you've got just silly technical fouls because you're ill-disciplined and you're whinging and whining. I mean, and Coach Thompson doesn't have a great deal of hair, but you can understand why the coaching staff would be furious.
Well, it was the first quarter that really did Spartans in. They lost that first quarter 30-13, and after that, I think they've pretty much won the rest of the quarters. if you look at, or the rest of the game, I should say, come to the trap. It winds up with Cedar. He'll fire a three. That's off, but there's a foul. That one's against James Griffin on the Cedar three. So
And a
3
whole lot
more
of
free
fouls
throws.
too. Where's the fouls? I mean, wow, there's been some fouls tonight. 28 for Spartans. I'd be interested to see what an average game is, but it feels like Spartans have committed a huge amount of fouls.
Yeah, 28 for Spartans and 23 for McCoy. Total free throws, there's 27 attempted from Spartans and make it 33 for McCoy. Cedar doing work from the free throw line. McCoy, though, you got to be impressed, Dave. Another 3-0 road trip. I think every northern team that's come down for a 3-game road trip is going to go back home winning 3 games. Does that show you a difference in the talent up north to what we see down here?
For me, it's actually not necessarily talent. I just think it's a bit of experience and maturity. And the guy with the ball there, Cedar's been one of the guys as
huge block from Magnay.
Meets him at the top.
Gray's 3 is off, but I want you to continue what you were saying, Dave.
Yeah, I just think it's they're just a bit more experience is the key. I don't think it's a huge amount of talent discrepancy.
And Regan and I were debating this in the women's game, but there's got to be some benefits coming down playing a 3-game road trip later on for you in the season. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I mean, you love going away with the group. You get to hang out. There's no distractions. It's just you for the 2-3 days. Hopefully you can execute what you've been working towards, and you correct on night one. And so it's always a good experience. I mean, the North do it tougher than the Southern teams. They get 3 games versus our 2 generally, which is always harder. But again, McCoy's done a good job. Larkins will foul out. But sorry, when we were talking, the guy with the ball, Cedar, 13 fourth quarter points was exactly what the doctor ordered from McCoy. And that was a really key time when Cedar chipped in with his 13 points in order to get it done.
What do you think about the South teams maybe going up to the North for a 3-game trip? You start in Cairns, you go to Townsville and McCoy, and finish off in McCoy. Is that something that you think that's feasible?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the challenge for Queensland is, versus the Seaball necessarily is just the travel. We've such a big state. It's difficult to cover the Brisbane, the Gold Coast to Cairns trip, and so it all comes down to dollars too, Johnny, which is the commercial equation as to how do you make it work best.
Well, even in terms of that, I mean, there's nothing against teams in Brisbane having a triple header. You could have, let's use Southern Districts as an example versus Brisbane, Southwest, and Ipswich.
Yeah. I don't know. 3 games is tough. I mean, I think they do it primarily because the cost for the northern teams, but it's always a tough ask coming down and playing 3 games.
Well, referees continue to blow the whistle here with the game in the bag for McCoy, 98-85. I'm going to start taking a look at some statistics here, Dave, as it's really just mathematical at the moment, but pretty, I think the shooting percentages definitely dropped off for McCoy in the second half. But overall, really solid performance from the McCoy Meteors. They're going to be led in their score sheet by Titus Robinson, who's got 24 points. He'll have the double-double with 15 rebounds. Also had a couple of assists. 4 of their 5 starters finish in double figures, and then they get Lucas Blitzhavs finishing with 11 off the bench, so that's a nice job. Gamblin also had 8 off the bench. Hayden Wicks with 2. The final score is 100-88 for the McCoy Meteors over the Brisbane Spartans. Spartans were led on the score sheet by Mitch Philp. He'll finish with 23 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds. He'll also be joined in double figures by Deshaun King and Will Magnay. King finished with 16. I think most of those were in that third quarter. It was an excellent run from him in the third.
Yeah, 16 he had in that third, Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah. So all 16 of his points, 9 of them were from the free throw line. And then Will Magnay had a double-double, 15 points, 11 rebounds, and a couple of block shots. So there's some positives to take out of that from Spartans, but it just wasn't 4 quarters of basketball, and that really hurt them.
Yeah, and you've got to be, again, for them, as you said in the opener, Johnny, they had I think a 13-point loss against Rocky and about a 12-point loss against Cairns, or Townsville, sorry. So again, they've been around the mark. They just need to clean up some stuff. But there's a lot of positives out of today as well.
And McCoy, though, coming away with a 3 wins in 3 games down at the South. It's never an easy task. Really impressed with this McCoy team. We saw them in the grand final last season versus Townsville. Do you see the potential in this McCoy group to make a return run to the grand finals?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and we got to look at Townsville last night, which was good. They were a little shaky, but they bounced back and gave Ipswich a touch-up today. I still think McCoy's probably the team to beat. Watching a couple games online and watching them in person, they've just got a solid 5 that gets it done.
It was a really good win. I think we're going to be joined by McCoy big man Titus Robinson on the call. Robinson was super impressive here this afternoon, Dave. Really first time getting to see him live in action. We are joined by the McCoy big man Titus Robinson. Titus, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. It was a really good win for you guys. A little scrappy there at times, but you come away with 3 wins on the road. How's that feel?
It feels amazing. We've seen other teams come down and take care of business, so it puts a little bit more pressure on us, being that I think we might be the last team to come down for the 3-game road trip. So we had to make sure we took care of business and keep ourselves in a good position for the top spot.
You're really active out there. I've seen you on film, but seeing you live in action, really impressive player. You can do a little bit of everything. What did Coach Tregar say to you when you were coming into McCoy, and what did he tell you your role would be?
Honestly, he didn't know what he was getting. He's like a big man, high energy, get up and down, play the inside, and be able to shoot the mid-range, but then I showed him that my game is more than what he thought it was. So he's happy with it. Main thing, first and foremost, is defending, getting up and down the court, and keeping everybody, keeping the pace up. So, yeah, it was good.
How do you feel about the group? Now you're into round 8 in the QBL. You've got a lot of games underneath your belt. What do you think the level that you guys could reach in McCoy this season in the QBL?
Oh, man, we have the sky's the limit. As long as we take care of the ball and keep playing together, keep sharing the ball, because we have so many weapons on the team. Any given night, somebody can give you 20 points and 10 rebounds from whatever. So it's pretty much pick your poison. As long as we play unselfish and find that right guy, I mean, it's going to be tough to beat us.
You talked about being unselfish. We were pretty impressed with the great fundamentals. You got a nice back to the basket game, and then stepping out, hitting that mid-range jump shot as well. You were pretty comfortable, obviously, in the offense.
Yeah. It's like I said, being that other people can score, it makes my game that much, or it makes the game that much easier. So if they're taking away from him, something's going to be open for me. If they're taking something away from me, then I can get somebody else, and it's going to be open for him. So, like I said, it's pick your poison.
Yeah, we enjoyed the Magnay-Robinson battle most of the game. You missed one trying to yak on him.
Oh, man, I'm trying to get it, man. After 3 games, it's like legs a little shot. But, hey, it was a good battle both ways. It's good sportsmanship. And like I said, as players, you want to go against the best. So I'm not going to shy away from anybody, and we're going to go. And I hope he wouldn't shy away either. So, yeah,
that's good.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. Congratulations on a big win, Titus.
Thank you
so much. We know you guys are hitting the road really soon, so I know you got to head back. That'll wrap things up for us here, though, from McCoy getting the big win over the Brisbane Spartans, 100-88. For Regan Baker on the camera and the production panel, for Dave Derwin, Titus Robinson, Chris Sieber on the camera, and James Bowman from the Australian Sports Network. Don't forget, next week, we've got the Southwest Metro Pirates versus the Logan Thunder on Saturday. Women's game at 5:30, men at 7:30. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in to another presentation of the QBL Basketball by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia.